Last week, a graphic video of a fatal stabbing was shared on social media, reportedly over 500,000 times. We see 31-year-old Carl Gallagher knifed in the chest with a single blow. After a few seconds, he falls down dead. This wasn't the first time such a violent clip has gone viral, and it won't be the last. Such virals are what I call Videolantism, the act of filming an illicit event, then distributing the footage over social media as a deliberate attempt to use criminal activity for infotainment purposes. Over a series of interviews this week, I'm going to find out why there's such an insatiable appetite for this shocking content. Does this material put the spotlight on broken Britain or merely feed into existing stereotypes? Today I'm talking to Riaz Khan, a prominent social media figure from Leicester.
What don't mind most was the people around him. When he dropped, they didn't care.
Yeah.
They seemed blasé about it. Oh yeah, he just dropped. And the guys in the car, oh no, we've got stuff in the car. Don't do it. Don't go out or something. And there's other people around just looking at him. And when the ambulance, there's a second video that came out. You see the ambulance crew trying to resuscitate him. You know he's dead.
Yeah.
Just the people around didn't do nothing. They didn't hold him. His last moments, he's dying. None of his mates came up to him and said, "Bro, hold in there."
Their absence of kind of like help or trying to intervene is just a shocking indictment as well, just how lame people. I just find it really cowardly and lame. And these guys, and I think people looking at that and aspiring to be that sort of thing are pathetic.
Yeah.
I mean, embarrassing. I feel like
it is.
That's like youth culture, if you like, at its worst. It's just awful.
I think they've become, like I said before, earlier on, we've become desensitized.
Yeah.
We don't have that humanity anymore. In the old days, if you see someone drop like that, we'd be running up to him and say, "You're all right, bro. Hang on there. Someone call an ambulance." It'd be like frantic. It was like I say, we become desensitized. We see it all the time on social media. You see the violence videos, the violence. The kids have got mobile phones these days. I'm talking about 10-year-olds. They must get these videos as well. Imagine what they're going to go when they're seeing all these images. They might become numb to it all. I think they saw a scuffle, maybe saw an argument. And as soon as you see two people arguing, the cameras come out. Oh, it's going to kick off. Switch the phones on, just see what's going on. And that Smethwick area, that area there looks like it's very volatile, looks like it's very sort of gang-related sort of area where kids hang out and there's loads of scraps. But maybe they knew what was going to happen. Maybe there's some beef before, I don't know. But for some reason, they put the camera on. Because when two people are arguing, people just put the camera on. You see it on the streets in London or whatever. You see people arguing at a bus stop, switch the camera on. And also they start kicking off, they start fighting. From a silly little argument, I saw a video of some bloke in Leeds fighting two lads. They were arguing. It was a Lithuanian guy against two Leeds lads. They were arguing. Next thing you know, they started fighting, and the Lithuanian lad obviously had the better of the two Leeds lads. But it just, as soon as someone starts arguing, the camera comes on. Whether it's on the buses, at the bus stop, whether it's in the street, whether in the colleges, a university, whatever. People switch the cameras on because beef, and they start recording it, hoping for something to happen. I think that's what happened with these two lads in the car. And something did happen. Yeah.
Crazy.
It's mostly youngsters. It's the youngsters. They thrive on it. They see it and they share it. They get excited about it. Whoa, you see the way he dropped? Whoa, wow, sick. Yeah. They glorify it. When in fact, it was a horrifying moment.
These cats are doing it digitally. They want to, if you're the guy who filmed the bods doing X, all of a sudden, you've got status, haven't you? You've got something. You can share it. Yeah, I was the guy who put that out there. You've got 2, 3, 10,000, 500,000 hits. You're the man. You get your 15 seconds of fame. And I see that with a lot of these cats, that they want that, they want to be part of something, but they're choosing a very dangerous way to go about it. Yeah.
It's all digital now, you're right. Fame is now not from the actions that you just what people become famous by putting silly videos. Look at TikTok, for example. Someone puts up a silly video, few million hits, and they become famous overnight. There was a Somali lad, he used to rap in a strange way. I don't know what he was doing. It was just nonsense. It was just mental. He became an overnight hit. I don't know where he is now, but that period of time, he became an overnight hit from just going, making stupid noises on his mouth. He hit millions and millions of viewers, you know what I mean? Crazy.
You've managed to quite successfully build up, a great profile. not just not just in social media or online, but also in the mainstream media. How did that come about, and how, what was it like for you transitioning, if you like, from one world into this world where you've got a whole different set of responsibilities and whatnot now?
Basically, I wrote a book a few years ago, like yourself. I wrote a book, and it was basically a book about my life as a kid, as a young man, in response to the EDL, the rise of the EDL. I wanted to educate them, to say, look, all Muslims are not like what you're saying. We are part of society and all the rest of it. Wrote a book, did okay. Wasn't about the money. Just did okay in terms of spreading the message. Then one day in 2015, I believe, The Sun wrote an article about 1 in 6 Muslims support ISIS. Was 1 in 5? It was 1 in 6, wasn't it? Or 1 in 5, I think it was.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So I saw this title and I thought, you what? So I've done a video on Facebook. I didn't have many followers then. I had about a couple of thousand, I think, or probably less than that. This video just went viral. Boom. Because my response to Rupert Murdoch saying that, how can you say, so I've got 6 members in my family. So tell me one of my family members is a supporter of ISIS. I said stuff like that. And I said, look, you're just a scummy newspaper, your tabloids are scum and blah, 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 and the rest of it. And that went viral. And from that moment onwards, I was just thrown into this world of, social media. I was like, okay, what do I do now? It was a bit daunting. It was overwhelming, to be honest with you. And I'm a bit of a private person in some sense. I don't like to be thrown in the limelight. I'm very shy when it comes to get thrown in the limelight. So I got thrown into the limelight. And it was like, oh my days, what am I going to do now? And I have to be really careful of what I said and what I did, because everything now is digitally recorded. If you're on the street, you can say what you want and say, you what? Yeah, give it the largest stuff and just walk off, and no one's going to think nothing of it. You can say the wrong thing on the street, no one's going to think nothing of it. When you're online, you have to be very careful with your words and what you say and what you do. So that was quite difficult for me to do. I mean, I can do that in front of my kids and, to try to bring them in the right way and avoid saying certain things like not swear and stuff. But when you're online, you can say one sentence and people can misconstrue it. You got what I mean? So it was a completely different kettle of fish for me. Another video, that first video hit 1.2 million views, if I'm right, on Facebook. And also I got his friend requests from all over, bing, 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 all these friend requests. I'm like, okay, just add. I didn't even know these people were. I just wanted to add them.
Yeah.
I don't know, randoms, you know what I mean? Just added them. So then I did another video against David Cameron about bombing Syria. That got nearly 1 million hits. Then another video about a terrorist attack somewhere. I can't remember where it was now. I think it was here or France or somewhere. And I started getting big hits. And all of a sudden, for about a year, I was getting like hundreds of thousands of views. And then all of a sudden, the algorithms changed on Facebook. So my views it's sort of from really high to really low.
Oh, okay.
So it was a bit, I thought I had a bit of a voice now. I thought, okay, I've got a voice here. I've got a platform. I can use it for good. And I was reaching to people. I was actually reaching out to people. People are messaging, hundreds of private messages saying, yes, about time you spoke out, and about time you had people like yourself and blah, 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 and the rest of it.
Is the algorithm that you're talking about, designed to limit the voice of someone like yourself?
I think so. Because look, if someone speaks out against Muslims on Facebook, it goes viral. But if you put a positive message out against Muslims, for Muslims or for ethnic minorities, it does not go viral at all. I mean, I did a video about a month ago about these Asian shopkeepers hiking the prices up. That video was the first one that went viral for such a long time. That hit 200,000 views. That's the first video.
And in the space of what sort of time? Within
a few days. It just hit, it went viral. And I thought, wow. This one, because I was speaking out against Asians. I was speaking out against, these crooks, basically. And that's what they wanted. They wanted this sort of division. They want that, this negativity. I wouldn't say negativity, but this sort of bad press, if you get what I mean. And I also put another video out, which was not me. It was a video about this woman saying something about, basically someone said, I'm your neighbor, I'm coming to look after you. If you need anything, it's using sign language, these sort of written. And that hit nearly over 1 million views. And that was from my social platform media, but it wasn't me, it was someone else's video. Right. I was scratching my head thinking, how come that hit? You get what I just don't get it. It has limited me a lot. I think they do it on purpose. There's certain individuals out there that can't get the the voice they can't get the viewage, they can't get the voice that they want, that needs to be heard. They don't want that. They want to limit it. But likes of people like, far right guys, they get hundreds of thousands of views.
What sort of people share stuff or send stuff to you? What's the profile of your followers?
I've got people from the Muslim community. I've got people from the far right community sending me stuff. I've got people that are pro-Trump sending me messages about Trump. Look what he's done here. Then I've got the Muslim community sending me messages about, what's happening in the Muslim community in different countries. So I'm stuck in the middle here thinking, well, I can't share this, because if I share one aspect, I'd be called a Islamic fundamentalist. And if I share stuff by Trump, I'd be called, Riaz, you're leaning towards the right now. You're becoming right wing. So I'm like stuck in the middle. So I have to be very, I don't know, it depends on what it is. If it's something which I think can benefit the whole of society, and I'll share it. Like, for example, someone sent me a link about the nurses and the PPE stuff and how they've been told to keep quiet about, told to be silent. NHS have been silenced to say, if you make any comments or if you make any sort of public statements about PPE, you're going to get sacked, basically.
I've heard the same thing,
Yeah. So I shared something this morning, and now I'm getting flipping. Every time I post something, I can say the sky is blue on Facebook, and there'll be arguments on my Facebook about the sky not being blue. But it's clearly blue. You know what I mean? So there's always arguments on my Facebook. Every single post I put, there's always someone who's going to argue. Even if it's a positive post, someone will argue. There will always be somebody that will start saying something completely different. So it's a battlefield on my Facebook, which is a good thing, because I want people to actually express their views, and I want them to argue and spit out what they believe in and what they want to, their frustrations and stuff. And I want people to counteract that. Sometimes I can put a post up, I'll sit back and let everybody else fight. Get my popcorn out and sit there watching them arguing. I've had death threats from the far right, and I've had death threats from being told not to come to certain places in England from the Muslim community, from the extremists. Because when I spoke out against the extremists on that Channel 4 program, my Jihadi Next Door, I think it was called, that had a couple of million hits as well, just nearly 1.8 million hits. I got messages from people from Coventry and Derby saying, don't come to our city. You're going to get, that's for the Muslims. So what do I do? Yeah. Then I got the far right say, we're going to do you when we see you. So
Yeah. So you're in a lonely sort of like place then. Yeah. In some ways. Are you ever going to convince any of these sort of like people?
No. Well, I believe actions speak louder than words. Okay, I'll give you an example. There was the floods in New York a few years ago. I think it was York. No, we went to a few places. I think it was I'm sure it was York. It was up north anyway. Now, there were 6 pubs. They were pro-Britain first. All these 6 pubs in this area. And after the floods, a lot of Muslims from Leicester and all over the place went there to help. So they were digging in, they were giving essentials, they were trying to clear up the streets and stuff, with the flood relief and stuff. Out of those 6 pubs that were Britain first, 5 became non-Britain first because of our actions. So 1 was still Britain first. So with these people, you have to actually dig in and you have to actually do something to convince them. They believe that we're just doing that, talking, when in fact they want to see action. So when you go out and attack, say, for example, a paedophile grooming gang, if you physically attack them, they'll say, yeah, look, they're all right, look, it's these, you get what I mean? But how do you get hold of a grooming gang? Because we don't even know who they are. They're grooming gangs is undercover. They do it behind closed doors. They don't even tell their wives what they're doing. And the community what they're doing, because it's frowned upon. It's disgusting. It's a disgusting act. Imagine if we found a gang of groomers here. I'll tell you an instance, right? There's 2 guys. They were chatting up girls outside the school. They were Asian lads, men. We got a sniff of it, battered them. Right? We battered them. They got good hiding. They never did it again. Do you know what I mean? They never did it again. They didn't even go near that school. Never, ever again. But, for us to do that, we have to actually go out and record things on social media. So, I don't know, man. You can't win with people. Even if we did a good action, they'll still point something else out. So, well, about that then? You can't win with people. Like that. No matter how much you do, they will not change their mindset.
Yeah. The grooming gang thing and the vigilante thing, and then capturing it, it's really interesting, because I sort of have this notion of what I call videolantism, and that the idea that people are out there using their mobile phones to capture, subversive or illegal or criminal activity. and then posting that with a view to either, on the one hand, naming and shaming people, and perhaps there's at that level there is some sense of a kind of vigilante, retributive sort of force there. Yeah, I know that, Bob, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, this man, done that. And then that's dealt with on that, you know, in that way. Mm-hmm. And then on the other hand, of course, by putting this information out there, the authorities who, you know, we know obviously are kind of gleaning, you know, material from social media platforms for intel, right? So I see, you know, I see that as a dynamic and something that's happening, but I wonder how intentional it is, and how for you, when you're putting sort of stuff out there, you know, bear in mind that people are going to say to you, "Oh, Riaz, why are you doing that? You know, you're dry snitching. These people are like whatever." You know, just finally, what your take is on that. Do you accept that, you know, that there's an element of what you do that is kind of videolantism, for want of a better term, or, you know, maybe you see it a different way?
Well, I've not recorded. Well, you mean when I share posts of people getting whatever?
Yeah, because you don't really get out there and sort of record stuff yourself. No, right.
Yeah, so I don't do that. But if I saw a fight, for example, between two groups of youths, for example, like a football match, and you see them fighting. I mean, I shared one with Spurs, actually, I think, against some foreign team. I forgot, it was some German team. It was just a lot of bouncing, a lot of... I got one or two comments saying, look, you're grassing them up, basically. You revealed who these people are.
Oh, that might be Bayern. Yeah, I think it kicked off with Bayern Munich. Yeah,
it was a scuffle. It wasn't a massive major brawl. It was just a scuffle, to be honest with you. And there was one or two comments saying, "Look, people are grassing people up by doing that. Their faces, people they'll know who they are now." There is a good point. That is a valid point, because you can be seen as a grass, but to certain elements of the community, but to general public, they don't see it as grassing. They just see it as like, exposing. So. You've got to balance it out. I don't know. I don't know how you can do it. If I was a tech whiz, I'd probably black out the faces, but I'm not a tech whiz. And sometimes you just post something on the spur of the moment, not realizing, then you think, hold on a minute, take it off, because maybe I'm grassing that person up, maybe I'm grassing those people up.